na 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 ya na 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 na. Ya na 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 ya na na na. Ya na 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 ya na na na. Ya da da. Ya na 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 ya na na na. Ya na 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 ya na na na. Ya na 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 ya na na na. Hi da da. Hi da da da. Da da da. Hi da 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 da. Ya da da. Ya da da ya da ya da da. Hi da da. Da 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 ya da ya da da. Hi da da. Hi da da da. Shabbat is a palace in time. It's a safe haven, a place available for all of us. Tonight, I want to invite you to take your time to really enter this space as we unfold into the deeper meanings of the prayers. The Hebrew word for melody, does anyone know the Hebrew word for melody? Magina, that's one way. Nigun, coming from the word to play, menagen. And nigun is also an acronym for nefesh, guf, neshama. Body, right? You like that? Soul, body, spirit, breath. And tonight I invite you to breathe into this space and raise your voices in song, letting go of everything that happened this week. And singing together, we just use this wordless melody to enter into this space and either breathe or sing. Ya na 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 ya na ya na na. Ya na 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 ya na 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 ya na ya na na. Ya na 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 ya na ya na na. I na na. Try it again. I na 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 ya na 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 na. I na 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 ya na ya na na. I na 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 ya na 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 na. I na na. I die die die. I die die ya die I die. I die die. I die 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 die. I die die. I die die die. I na 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 ya na 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 na. I na 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 ya na ya na na. I na 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 ya na 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 na. I na na. I na 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 ya na 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 na. I na 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 ya na na na. I na 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 ya na na na. I na na. As we light the candles tonight, I want to invite forward Jax Mizrahi, who's going to be helping to lead the service this evening with her beautiful voice. But I want, as she comes forward to light the candles, I want all of us to think of an intention for the next 24 hours, a word or phrase that you can turn to over and over again. And if you don't have one, I invite you to use the word blessing. What blessings are you searching for this Shabbat? What blessing do you need? And also, you are here for a reason. So what blessing can you offer all of us? And so with that intention in mind, we Bring in the light.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
The light of the Shabbat candles represents hope and compassion, our promise to build a world of love. The Kiddush cup is overflowing infinite and endless love. And the challah, a reminder that we are not just machines that can keep going. We require love to nourish and fuel us. On Shabbat, let us feed our spirits. And so with light and joy, we turn to page 10. With light, with joy, with love, with nourishment, we sing together. Our beloved soul is connected to you, God, Yadid Nefesh.
Yadid Nefesh Rachaman, Yadid Nefesh Rachaman, Meshochav Decha, Eretz Onecha, Meshochav Decha, Yadadadai, Eretz Onecha. Yedid nefesh av Rachman, Yedid nefesh av Rachman, Meshochav Decha, Eretz Onecha, Meshochav Decha, Yadadadai, Eretz Onecha.
On page 20 and 21, we turn to Lecha Dodi, reminding that Shabbat has officially started. And this is an opportunity as we enter into Lecha Dodi to just connect a little bit with our breath. So I'm going to invite everyone to just let those shoulders relax down, to get comfortable in your seats for a moment. Let your eyes soften. Find extra space in your jaw. Soften around your neck and let your breath go all the way down, deep into your belly. Taking in a few deep breaths together, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. I want you to think of something this week that went well. Maybe it's a person you met or something that you are proud that you did. Something you want to keep repeating over and over again. And so thank yourself for that thing that went well this week. Take a picture in your mind and let the feeling sink in, saying thank you. Breathing in and out. Letting your breath with gratitude for that one thing that went well this week, focusing on the positive. Let your body, your soul, and your heart enter this day of rest as we welcome in our bride.
Shabbat, Nekabe, Yadadadai, Lechad Shabbat, B'nai Shabbat, Kabbalat. Shamor v'zachor, b'diborecha, Ishmi'anu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad, u'shmo echad, l'shemo tiferet v'litila. Yai-dai-dai, yada-da-da-dai, lecha dodi. Yada-da-da-dai, lekrakala. Yada-da-da-dai, B'nai Shabbat, B'nai Shabbat, Kabbalat. Likrat Shabbat, lechu v'nelcha. Ki mekor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshava techila. Elecha dodi likrakala, B'nai Shabbat Kabbalat, lecha dodi likrakala, B'nai Shabbat Kabbalat. Hitoreri, toreri, kiva orek, komi ori, 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 shidaberi kevod Adonai, alaik niglau, lecha dodi likrakala, B'nai Shabbat Kabbalat, lecha dodi likrakala, B'nai Shabbat Kabbalat. Boi v'shalom, hateret b'alam, gam b'simcha, uvetzol ha'toch emuneh, am segula. Boi kala, lecha dodi likrakala, B'nai Shabbat Kabbalat, lecha dodi likrakala, B'nai Shabbat Kabbalat. Yai nai nai nai, nai na 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 nai 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 nai, ai nai na nai na na nai nai ai nai, ai na 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 nai ai na na nai, ai nai 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 nai. You may be seated. The Chatzi Kaddish, the Mourner's Kaddish, the Kaddish de Rabbanan, there's all of these different Kaddishes. They all start out with the same text, and they are put throughout our service. We don't always sing or chant all of them in our service, but they're put throughout our service as a way to signify a division between different sections. And so we come to one of those divisions right now between Kabbalat Shabbat and our Ma'ariv service. And our ancestors used the Chatzi Kaddish, used these different Kaddishes in a different way than they used the rest of the prayers. And if you notice, it isn't written in Hebrew. It's the only one of our prayers that's not written in Hebrew. It's written in the language of Aramaic, which was their vernacular language. Our vernacular language is not Aramaic. In fact, it's probably one of the hardest prayers, even harder than Hebrew for most of us. And so tonight, as a way to think about the transition or the intersection between tradition and innovation, I want to use a new song as our dividing point. It's called Beyond. I'm going to teach it to you right now. And it's a way for us to say amen, to say, yes, let everything that just happened be so. And it sounds like this. with us. And let us say, Amen. And let us say, Amen. Here's my blessing for you tonight. May your wonder be celebrated. May your name be consecrated. May your brilliance never fade from the magnificent world you made. May your ways prevail in our own days, in our own lives, in the lives of all Israel. And let us say, Amen. 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 Please rise for our call to prayer. Am I awake? Baruch Hu. I'm going to ask everyone to be seated. On page 32, we have the Ma'ariv Aravim, our prayer for creation. And this month is Pride Month, and it's a chance to welcome in all members of our community. And this version, you can look at the Hebrew, but I'm going to offer a prayer in English called the Twilight People Prayer, which reminds us that in creation, even though God created light and darkness, amidst all of that, God also created twilight and dusk. And so within light and darkness, there's different shades and there's different ways of being. And so here is this blessing tonight for creating everyone, everything. As the sun sinks and the colors of the day turn, we offer a blessing for twilight. For twilight is neither day nor night, but in between. We are all twilight people. We can never be fully labeled or defined. With many identities, loves, genders, and none, we are in between roles, at the intersections of histories, or between place and place. We are crisscrossed paths of memory and destination, streaks of light swirled together. We are neither day nor night. We are both, neither and all. May the sacred in-between of this evening suspend our certainties, soften our judgments, and widen our vision. May this in-between light illuminate our way to God, who transcends all categories and definitions. May the in-between people who have come to pray be lifted up into this twilight. May we all find our place tonight. We cannot always define, but we can always say a blessing. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamari v'aravim. Blessed are you, God of all, who brings on the twilight. Keeping with the theme of using our breath to be present, as we did last week, we turn to the Shema, page 34, one breath, one word, listening to all the voices making up the one. ואהבתך תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. Page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל
לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו
הדברים האלה
אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננת לבבך, ודיברת בשבתך בביתך ובלתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאור על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, ובטחתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, ואתם קדושים אלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Tonight, let us all rejoice as Israel did, singing these words on the shores of the sea, page 40. Also on your song sheet.
Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai?
Ya-na-na-na, ya-na-na-na-na, ya-na-na.
ונאמר כי ודע אדוני את יעקב וגנו ברוך אתה אדוני גא ישראל. Summertime is a time usually of transitions. And so if you're going through a transition tonight or right now, or you know someone who's going through a transition, I know that sometimes when we're in it, it's hard to think that it could end up great. But what if there are things at work? Can we believe that? That there are things at work that we don't yet understand that'll help this transition turn out better than we could have ever imagined. That's the words of Hashkivenu, a prayer of hope, of comfort, of just having that faith. And so we sing these words together on the bottom of your song sheet or on page 42. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, leshalom, ve'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. I was just looking at my husband and my children who are sitting in the second row to your right. And not that you couldn't recognize them. And I was thinking of during the pandemic, we at my other synagogue, before this one, we would take turns, one clergy each week. We didn't lead on Zoom. One of us would just lead from our house. And my husband, I gave him the guitar. I said, will you learn to play this Hashkivenu? He learned to play it. And Nathaniel my older son was in his arms, and we sang it all together. And I believe Nathaniel sang it with us too. And he then sang the next song that we're about to sing, the Sanctuary song. And I think that it's like those defining moments, if we're talking about transition, that created this person now who loves to sing and loves to lead music, and who's going to be Mr. Banks and Mary Poppins next week here at Temple Beth Am in the theater. And so, those moments of just making music at home during a time that was really difficult for so many of us were actually some of the sweetest moments. So let's take in that sweetness as we move to our Amidah prayer as our personal reflection time, and thinking about making ourselves into a sanctuary. So in a moment, not yet, when you feel ready, we're going to sing it a few times. You're going to stand, you're going to firmly root yourself into an unmovable, secure, safe sanctuary. And then we're going to pray the Amidah together. The words of sanctuary are on the song sheet, and the words of the tefillah begin on page 46 and 48. And Nathaniel, Raphael, if you guys want to come sing with us, you're welcome to. No pressure, but we have Jax who's going to sing. You can, or did you want to come up here and sit? You can. So the words on your song sheet, sanctuary. God, prepare me to be a sanctuary,
Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Gadol, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Umoshia Umagen, Baruch Atah. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מחכה חיים בחסד. הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים. ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות. דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, מצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. We continue silently through the rest of the Amidah, and when you are done praying, you may be seated. May your name receive the same beauty that you bring, though you are far beyond the sweetest songs we could ever sing. And let us say, Amen. And let us say, And let us say, Amen. And let us say, Amen. For all our prayers, let us say, and let us say, this community, let us say, and let us say, and let us say, Amen. We're going to transition now to our healing prayer. I wanted to do something a little differently tonight. Sometimes as clergy, we have to make hospital calls in the evening. Last night I was with someone in the evening, the hospital, and I sang to them Misha Berach, and they just needed to receive the words. They couldn't sing it with me. But you all know the Misha Berach so well, and it's so hard not to sing it. So I wanted to offer you a different healing prayer so that you could just receive tonight. Just take it in, what it means to receive healing, because all of us have that brokenness. All of us have that ailment, that little tweak in our shoulder, our back, our leg, our knee, and we just sometimes need to receive. Or maybe it's something we're going through in our minds or hearts. So I offer this to you tonight. I will pause in the middle to receive all the names. Oh, sweet Spirit, hear my prayer. Help these words heal someone out there. I am but a voice, just a cry in the air, but I sing nonetheless. Through this pain we share. Oh, sweet friends, come and dry your eyes and hold each other by this tree of life. I'm angry and tired of this great divide, but I sing nonetheless with love on our side. And tonight we offer this prayer for who? And all those names that have yet to be said, all those people who are struggling in our community with abuse, with addiction, with mental illness, we hold them too. Oh, sweet souls who feel broken now, we'll heal together somewhere, somehow. Time and again, we have been let down, but we sing nonetheless, still whole and still proud. Oh, sweet Spirit, hear my prayer. Help these words heal someone out there. Judaism values family. We are mishpacha, a tribe, a people continuing to practice an ancient religion because it's been passed down to us, lador vador. Jewish parents name their children after relatives in hopes that they will receive their best attributes and preserve their legacy. When someone dies, our tradition gives us this line of comfort: may their memory be a blessing. It is through remembering in Judaism that the soul lives on. And that's our job, to remember, to never forget. This week's Torah portion, Pinchas, there's so much to focus on, and we'll focus on a lot more tomorrow. But there's one short story that's sometimes overlooked that I want to talk about tonight, and that is Tzalafachad and his daughters. So here we are, the children of Israel are finally getting to settle in the land, and God commands Moses to count all of the men in order to divide the land among the tribes. Those who receive the land are going to pass it down to their offspring, Lador Vador. And for a people that has always been slaves or wanderers, imagine what type of freedom that felt like for them. The miracle of being a gift of permanence. So after Moses finishes the census, something exceptional happens. We get 6 new biblical characters who've never been mentioned before, and 5 of the 6 of them are women. The Torah is talking about women for a change, and the women are named, which is also very unusual. Numbers chapter 27, verse 1 reads, "And then the 5 daughters of Tzalafachad drew near to Moses and Eleazar the priest, and all the princes and the entire congregation of Israel at the tent of meeting." And the Torah refers to these women first by their connection to their fathers and grandfathers, and then it names them. So the Torah is on purpose making this connection that they have a right. They have a belonging by naming their fathers first. And so it reads, "Then drew near the daughters of Tzalafachad, the son of Shapher, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Menashe, the son of Joseph." And so before we even learn their names, the Torah wants us to know that these girls are the great-great-great-granddaughters of Menashe and the great-great-great-great-granddaughters of Joseph. On Friday night, on evenings, after we say the Kiddush, which we'll do in just at the end of the service in a few moments, we have this chance to bless our children. And who do we bless them after? But by Ephraim and his brother Menashe. And so this guy is the great-great-great-grandfather of these 5 girls. And then we learn their names, and their names are Machla, Noah, Hogla, Milcah, and Tirzah. And these 5 brave daughters speak to Moses, saying, "Our father died in the wilderness of his own sin. He had no sons. And so, why should the name of our father and our family vanish? We don't have any brothers. Can you give us the land instead?" So here's Moses about to partition out this land. This father is no longer, he has no sons, but he has 5 daughters, and they are brave enough to come before Moses. Not only do these daughters command the attention of Moses, but also of God. Moses then brings their case before God, saying, "Vayikrev Moshe et mishpatan lifnei Adonai." And God ultimately agrees with Tzalafachad's daughters. Finally, in the Torah, we have this moment of God agreeing with Moses after the first time and of being pro-feminist. This is a big, big win for women's lib, the women's lib movement of the antiquity. The first words out of God's mouth is Cain, is yes. And they are right. And God grants them that same inheritance that they would receive if they were men. But here is my favorite part. This is not just a one-off court case. Okay, here's 5 girls, they came before me. God then makes a declaration to the entire children of Israel and grants the same benefit to any daughter in the same situation. God declares, if a man dies and has no son, his inheritance passes on to his daughter. This is a rare biblical instance when the people win and justice is served. It is remarkable that these daughters in only 11 verses, in a small part of this Torah portion, teach us how to live according to Jewish values. They teach us how to be the change, how to stand up, how to speak out for what we believe is right, not caring about the consequences. They model selflessness by acting only to preserve their father's memory. This is a timely message. We can't wait for someone else to speak up. We need to be that change. These women remind us to lift up women characters in the Torah. We often only talk about the women who reappear, Sarah, Rachel, Rebecca, Leah, Miriam. We need to learn and tell the stories of other women in the Torah, Shifra, Pua, Dinah, Devorah, Bathsheba. And finally, these daughters show us that our tradition can evolve. Rabbi Stephen Kushner writes, the story of Tzlafachad's daughters presents the religion of Moses as a work in progress. Their case is one that God had not considered. The daughters of Tzlafachad affect a reform, an adaptation to our halakha, to our law, as dictated by shifting realities. More than simply seeking clarification, they bring about change. And this is what Reform Judaism is, when practiced with knowledge and intention. We can adapt and evolve our laws, our traditions, our rituals in ways that are meaningful and relevant to our lives. These daughters were not afraid to present innovative ideas to the ultimate authority of God. And finally, they teach us the most important value of all, that of family. These women were acting as daughters. Let our Father's name not be lost. Their bravery not only preserves the memory of their father, but also created their own legacy, one that has inspired all of us from generation to generation. And so we will remember you, Machla. We will remember you, Noah. We will remember you, Chogla. Remember you, Milka. We'll remember you, Tirza. May their memories be a blessing. And together we say, Amen. In just a few moments, we'll conclude with the Mourner's Kaddish. We'll think of their names. But before we do so, I invite you as a community to rise for Aleinu, which is on page 282. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצון, ולא עשנו כשמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. You may be seated. Our Kaddish prayer is on page 294. But first, so many people to remember. I received these three names that we remember tonight, and I apologize if I do not pronounce anyone's name correctly. You can always stand up and say their name as well. Claudette Sador, Zivka Golap, Zvika Golap, and Gershon Spencer. We send condolences to the family for Donald Walsh this week. And for the 30-day mourning, we invite, as you hear the name of your loved one, to please rise. Chaim Aklepi, Michael Shellist, Marcel Menashe, and Benita Berman. In the first year of mourning, we invite you to rise so we can recognize you. Judy Agron, Lillian Berman, Josiah Perlman Bernstein, Charlotte Glovsky Brody, Arthur Farkas, Lawrence Farkas, Linda Frankel, Mitchell Friedman, Jocelyn Giroff, Judith Gilbert Good, Andrew Gross, Dr. Martin Glazer, Dr. Henry Irwin Glick, Jennifer Gross, Joseph Harvest, Dr. Jeffrey Hertz, Evan Higgins, Ruth Lishaw, Janice Levy, Phyllis Lieberman, Lawrence Pocker, Eric Polk, Karen Michelle Salmon, Debbie Sandberg, Susan D. Score, Tanya Stern, Bella Maka, Marcia Weinstein, and our yard site list this Friday. Lawrence Aglow, Nancy Arena, Leslie Arnovitz, Molly Arbach, Molly Bartner, Nady Ben-Ezra, Arthur Berg, Eva Bernstein, Talia Bernstein, Jack Book-Schiester, Vera D. Cohen, Joshua Cohen, Devorah Cole, Ronnie Korshin Korblum, Henrietta Cummings, Betty Cutler, Rebecca Darling, Benjamin Diamond, Diane Eisenberg, Jesse Engel, George Feingold, Lenora Fine, Asher Fisher, Edith Freeman, Milton Freed, Joseph Gersh, Elsa Glazer, Tommy Goslin, Esther Halberg, Helen Halpern, Cecile Haskellson, Harold Herman, Stephen Hirschman, David Hertz, Dr. Kenneth Hertz, June Hessel, Henrietta Hirsch, Hyman Max Isaacson, Robert Jacobs, Leonard J. Kalish, Sadie Z. Kaplan, Hazel C. Cecile Katz, Jack Katz, Philip Katzen, Martin Kettler, Sigmund Kleiman, Rebecca Klein, Arthur Klein, Mark Cohn, Nathaniel P. Kornberg, David Kornberg, Susan Korshin, Harold Kuffeld, Samuel Langer, Louis Lanster, Nettle Lefkowitz, Milton H. Lair, Martin Lemlich, Abraham Levin, Jane Levin, Dr. Morris Levine, Leo Levitt, Matilda Lewis, Albert Lichtman, George Margolius, Anita Mikalski, Jacob Meklewitz, John Ruth Milgram, Jean Molav, Fane Rabinetz, David D. Reebstein, Mendel Lewis Reichen, Bertha Rhine, Adolf Rittberg, Mrs. Rita S. Robbins, Harold Roberts, Doris Rogers, Marcia Roystacker, Albert Rosenbach, Ida Rubin, Harry Ruina, Dr. Alan Rutchick, David Sablotsky, Rachel Ashley Sandler, Gilda Schaller, Sylvia Schatzman, Eugene J. Schwartz, Helene Schwartz, Milton Siegel, Celia Shapiro, Howard Shapiro, Jonas Sherbel, Leon Siegel, Bruce Siegel, Jacob Simon, Fanny Smith, Martin Summers, Louis Spielberger, Grace Spielberger, Lillian Starr, William Strauss, Rose Haber Towell, Susan Birdstein Traeger, Murray Turetsky, Muriel B. Turoff, Ida Helen Wall, Minnie Weiberger, and Louis Zamkade. If there's anyone else who you're remembering tonight, I invite you at this time to please. Thank you. Thank you. You can stay standing. Yes. Anyone else? Okay, we invite you all to rise to show our comfort and our support to all our mourners and to remember all of the people who perished in the Holocaust who do not have anyone left to say Kaddish for them. Page 294, Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba be'alma divrach yiratei v'yamlich machote b'chaye chon u'vyome chon u'vchaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'vizman kari v'imru amen. Yehe shmei rabba mevarach le'olam olamei almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudesha brechu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'miran be'alma v'imru Yehe shlam araba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom Bramav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu ve'al Kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. May the one who creates peace on high bring peace and comfort to all who are bereaved, and together we say, Amen. We want to invite forward at this time Shelley Jacoby, our Executive Vice President of our board, to offer some greetings and some announcements.
And holy way to start our Shabbat. Zach, thank you so much for being a part of it. Sierra, beautiful service. Thank you very much. And now from the holy to the everyday. So all our clergy, including you, you're back from Naples, have been gallivanting all around the country and the world. If you're experiencing a fear of missing out, there are lots of opportunities coming up. Rabbi Eklepi is about to have a Jewish Heritage River Cruise in October. Rabbi Barris is about to have a trip to Israel. We're going to have a trip to New Orleans at the end of February. Check it out. There's a lot of information online about it. And if you're interested, they are great ways to connect with other people in our community and enjoyable unto themselves. If you want to stay closer to home, Rita Diaz is going to give a tour of Temple Beth Am. This is this Sunday, and it's actually for new members or potential new members. So if you know anyone that's interested in joining the synagogue, this would be a great time to learn all about what's happening here. If you haven't already renewed your membership, please don't forget to do that as well. Our first summer movie is coming up. Every Tuesday there will be a movie over the summer in the Hub. So it's a great excuse to get to the Hub as well as to see a movie. And it's Keeping the Faith, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. And Rabbi Eklepi will be there, and she'll have a discussion afterwards. So something that you may want to look at. It's on the 11th at 7 o'clock. And then every Tuesday thereafter, there is going to be movies in the Hub. On August the 1st at 4 o'clock p.m., we're going to be helping foster kids through Voices for Children. This is through our Tikkun Olam committee. They will be packing up backpacks to give to foster kids so that they go into their school year with everything that they need for the year. It's a great program, and if you're really interested, they also give these kids a credit card, and they go into Old Navy and they can buy clothing for themselves for the year. So they're looking for volunteers for that as well. So if you're interested, reach out to our Tikkun Olam committee or to Voices for Children. Save the date. I know it's early, but we have our golf tournament now has a date, November the 13th, so put it on your calendar. And the Colombian pop icon, Santiago Cruz, will be performing at the Hub on Thursday, October the 26th. Don't forget, we have Torah study tomorrow morning. We have Minyan. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Thank you. Beautiful.
It's so nice, even though it's the summer, to have such a beautiful group. And the best part about the chapel is you can hear everyone singing. It's like really just so nice. And that's kind of what the Minyan vibe is like every Saturday morning. So I hope you'll come back and join me tomorrow for a beautiful service with our Minyan community and Liera again. So tomorrow morning at 10:30, I hope you'll join me. And it's so nice. And our rabbis are off on vacation right now, and we all need time to fill up our own cups so that we can give so generously of it. So it's so nice that they have that time. And it's so nice that then I get this time with all of you. So we wish them a Shabbat Shalom as well. Our closing song is on your song sheet on the last page, on the last side. And we are going to end with these words and let us say amen. We're going to go right into it from the Kiddush. And then we're going to go have whatever Shabbat meal we're going to have We can even say hamotzi, so you guys are just ready to go and eat after this. So I'm going to invite everyone to please rise. And I am going to invite our dear friend, Paul Distenfeld, to hold up the Kiddush cup for us. Paul, we need you. Can you hold it? You got it? And I fill it up all the way to the top because I want it overflowing with Shabbat joy. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehila lemikra'ei kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'odanu kidashta mikol ha'amim ve'shabat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen. L'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. And let us say, and let us say, and let us say, Amen. And let us say, and let us say, Amen. On your song sheet, please join with me. May your wonder be celebrated. May your name be consecrated. May your brilliance never fade from the magnificent world you made. May your ways prevail in our own days, in our own lives, and in the life of all Israel. And let us say, and let us say, Amen. And let us say, and let us say, Amen. May your name receive the same beauty that you bring, though you are far beyond the sweetest songs we could ever sing. And let us say, and let us say, Amen. And let us say, and let us say, Amen. One more time, everyone. And let us say, and let us say, Amen. And let us say, and let us say, Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Greet someone near you, new to you. Say hello. Shabbat Shalom if you're watching.